South Boston, a neighborhood forged in grit and Irish pride. It was a place where loyalty meant everything and betrayal could cost you your life. This was the world James Whitey Bulger was born into in 1929. Life wasn't easy on the streets of Southie. Poverty and violence were constant companions. Bulger, a kid with piercing blue eyes and a shock of white hair, was drawn to the allure of the streets. He found a sense of belonging in the wrong crowd, joining the Shamrocks gang as a teenager. Petty theft and street fights escalated into more serious crimes. Bulger was on a one-way track to a life behind bars. The law finally caught up with Bulger, landing him in juvenile detention. It was a taste of what was to come, a glimpse into a world he would come to know all too well, but even confinement couldn't break Bulger's spirit. He emerged from detention even more hardened, his heart set on a life of crime. Bulger's stint in juvenile detention was just the beginning of his dance with the law. He traded the streets of Southie for the cold steel bars of federal prison in 1956. Convicted of bank robbery, he found himself facing down a 9-year sentence in Atlanta Penitentiary. It was here, amidst the hardened criminals and brutal realities of prison life, that Bulger's ruthlessness flourished. Stories circulated about his alleged participation in the CIA's MKUltra program, a secret experiment involving mind control. Whether true or embellished prison lore, it added to the mystique surrounding Bulger. He was a survivor, a man who had stared into the abyss and emerged even more formidable. Paroled in 1965, Bulger returned to South Boston. He was a changed man, hardened by his time inside and ready to claim his place in the city's underworld. The streets had missed him, and he was eager to make up for lost time. His return would mark a turning point in Boston's criminal landscape, ushering in an era of fear and violence. Back on familiar ground, Bulger gravitated towards the powerful Winter Hill gang. This notorious Irish mob controlled a vast criminal network, their tentacles reaching into every corner of the city. Bulger, with his cunning and ruthlessness, quickly rose through the ranks. He was a natural leader, commanding respect with a quiet menace that belied his chilling capacity for violence. By the late 1970s, Bulger had seized control of the Winter Hill gang. His reign was one of iron-fisted control. He ruled through fear and intimidation, eliminating rivals with ruthless efficiency. Under his command, the gang's criminal empire expanded, encompassing drug trafficking, extortion, loan sharking, and a string of unsolved murders. Bulger was a master manipulator, a chess player who orchestrated events from the shadows. He understood the power of loyalty and instilled fear in equal measure. He was feared by many, but there was a code he lived by: loyalty to his crew, ruthlessness to his enemies. This code would define his reign and ultimately contribute to his downfall. Behind Bulger's reign of terror lay a sinister secret, a pact with the devil that would have far-reaching consequences. In the 1970s, Bulger began working as an informant for the FBI. His handler, John Connolly, was a Southie native, blinded by ambition and a warped sense of loyalty to Bulger. Connolly believed he could exploit Bulger's inside knowledge to bring down the Italian mafia, specifically the Patriarca crime family. It was a dangerous game, a Faustian bargain that would come back to haunt the FBI. Bulger provided information, but at a price. He leveraged his position to eliminate rivals and consolidate his power, all under the protection of the very agency tasked with stopping him. The line between informant and criminal mastermind blurred. Bulger, shielded by his FBI handler, operated with impunity. His criminal empire flourished, fueled by the blood of his enemies and the complicity of those sworn to uphold the law. It was a dark chapter in FBI history, a testament to the seductive power of ambition and the devastating consequences of unchecked corruption. In the shadowy world of informants and undercover operations, information can often come at a steep price. For Whitey Bulger, this price was paid in both blood and betrayal. His role as an informant for the FBI was a double-edged sword, granting him protection while simultaneously sealing his fate. The very system that shielded him eventually became the key to his downfall. The cost of secrets, in the end, proved to be more than just monetary. It was a matter of life and death. For 16 years, Whitey Bulger managed to evade capture, becoming one of America's most wanted fugitives. His ability to remain in the shadows, undetected, was nothing short of remarkable. But every shadow has its end, and Whitey's time was running out. In June of 2011, the walls finally closed in on Whitey Bulger. A tip from a former Miss Iceland led the FBI to an apartment in Santa Monica, California. There they found the notorious gangster living under the alias Charles Gasco. The arrest marked the end of an era, but the beginning of a new chapter in the saga of Whitey Bulger. The Whitey Bulger's trial began in June 2013. It was a spectacle that drew national attention, revealing the dark underbelly of Boston's criminal world. Witnesses testified to his ruthless nature, detailing crimes that spanned decades. The jury found him guilty on 31 counts, including 11 murders. Justice, it seemed, had finally caught up with the Irish godfather. On October 30th, 2018, Whitey Bulger met a violent end in a West Virginia prison. His death closed the final chapter on a life steeped in crime and infamy. Yet, his story remains a chilling reminder of the lengths to which power and corruption can reach. Whitey Bulger's legacy is a complex one, forever etched in the annals of American history.